Today's other big Iran war news, as far as Australia is concerned, is that the Albanese government has made a military commitment. Again, this is something we foreshadowed here on the program last night with talk of a request from the Gulf states. It was a no-brainer for this government, given how the Gulf states have hosted our military for decades. But typically, the Albanese Labor government have been slow, weak and half-hearted about this.
This growing wave of dangerous and destabilising attacks from Iran puts civilian lives at risk, of course including Australian lives, of which there are more than 20,000 people based in the UAE. In responding to requests following a conversation that I had with the President, Mohammed bin Zayed, and other requests, Australia will deploy an E-7A Wedgetail to the Gulf to help protect and defend Australians and other civilians.
Yeah, one Wedgetail surveillance aircraft. That's not a minor deployment. It'll involve 85 defence personnel for at least a month. And Australia is also supplying the UAE with air-to-air missiles for them to use. But given what's at stake in this war, we should be doing more. We should be prepared to help fight evil, not restrict ourselves to defending against it. This is, after all, a fight for democracy against tyranny, a fight for stability in the Middle East against terrorism. It's a fight for the right of Israel to exist without constant attacks from Iran and its proxies. It's a fight for the right of the Iranian people not to be slaughtered by their own government. It's a fight for world order and for civilization against a terrorist, Islamist, theocratic regime. Yet Anthony Albanese is so apologetic, more interested in telling us what he won't do rather than anything he wants to achieve.
There are around 115,000 Australians in the Middle East, around 24,000 of those in the UAE. Helping Australians means also helping the UAE and other Gulf nations to defend themselves against what are unprovoked attacks. My government has been clear that we're not taking offensive action against Iran.
Albo is just so desperate to tell the world he will not do anything to attack Iran. The same Iran that has slaughtered hundreds of thousands of people in the Middle East over the past few decades, that has constantly terrorised and bombarded Israel through its proxies and attacked it directly, targeting civilians in the main, that has attacked American interests, and that has even brought terror to Australia with firebomb attacks against a Jewish business in Sydney and the Adass Synagogue in Melbourne. I mean, why is Albanese so keen not to cross swords with Iran? It is pathetic. The opposition leader supported Labor's deployment, but Angus Taylor was much stronger in outlining what's at stake.
We need to stand by our allies and work closely with countries who we've stood shoulder to shoulder with for a long, long time to make sure we hold that regime to account. And most importantly, we protect the free world against what it has been prepared to do. It is a regime that we can not ever support in any way, shape or form, frankly, right now. And we want to see the Iranian people take control of their country again.
Yeah, that's what Australia should be doing, but we have a weak and waffly Prime Minister determined to limit his actions to defend a few thousand Australians waiting for delayed flights out of the area. Just weak. This is a man on the wrong side of history. This is a small man. This is a man who, instead of doing the right thing by his country and the Western Alliance, wants to placate Green politicians and the Green left vote.
If the Australian people had a say, they would say no to Donald Trump's war. They would say no to another US forever war. And they would be, and they're right to be, deeply fearful about how far Labor wants to drag us into Netanyahu and Trump's illegal war in Iran.
Yeah, that's who Albanese is trying to please, the anti-US, anti-Israel, anti-West mob. If you can't see what's happening here and you don't know whose side you're on, then you are not capable of leading a nation in such tumultuous times. Ironically, Albanese has praised the bravery of the Iranian women's soccer defectors, but he can't muster any courage himself against Iran.